everybody, this is Island Hopper TV, and today we're going to talk about the best things to do here in Osaka, Japan. Let's do it.
That's right, Island Hoppers. I'm going to show you some of the best food and activities you can do while visiting Osaka. Let's begin.
And this entertainment area is known as Dotonbori.
Dotonbori is a shopping district right here on the waterfront where they serve lots of street food, and you'll see even street entertainers hanging out around here. This is probably the go-to spot on a Friday night or even during a festival or a holiday. Right here in Dotonbori, it's going to be action. So really check this place out, especially in the evening. You can also do a boat or a ferry ride up and down the waterfront here. And then you can head over to the big department store that's all across Japan, but down here they have the Don Quixote. You'll know it because of the famous Ferris wheel. You can actually ride one of those capsules around. And then the main food that you're gonna wanna try is called takoyaki. You'll see these squid or octopus kind of figurines or statues on the buildings. That's to indicate that they're serving takoyaki, which is a octopus ball. Coming down here to Dotonbori to do some people watching is definitely a popular activity for locals and tourists alike. So it can get very crowded down here, so take that into consideration when picking a time to visit. Evenings are going to be the most crowded. Now we're going to head over to Tsutenkaku and head to the top of this tower right here in the Osaka city center. Ticket prices vary depending on how high up you want to go. If you wanted to go to the tippy top, that's around 1,200 yen or $9. But I think the observation deck is good enough, and that's 900 yen, which is around $6. Osaka is one of two mega cities in Japan, and you get great views of just how big this metropolis really is, with a population of just around 19 million people living in Greater Osaka. It's actually been losing population over the last couple years by 0.25%, but still it's declining. And for those of you who are bold enough, as you can see, they do have people climbing the exterior of the actual tower. You can do that if you're willing to pay and experience that. They also have the Osaka Tower slide, which is around 1,000 yen. That allows you to slide down the building. The tower was actually built in 1912, and it is considered one of the landmarks of Osaka. Also, it is in the area of Shinsaibashikai, which is a popular nightlife place. Now here we are at the TEMPOZAN giant Ferris wheel right here along the waterfront in the Osaka Bay area, next to the aquarium. But here you can go up to the height of 112 meters, one of the largest Ferris wheels in the world actually. It's quite impressive to get views up here if you can see it. Open from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. The price is around 800 yen or $5. The total amount of time that it takes to go around one time is 15 minutes. And right next door to the Ferris wheel is the Osaka Aquarium. This is again one of the largest aquariums in the world. They actually have whale sharks in the aquarium tanks. Ticket prices are 1,600 yen for kids, that's around $14, and then if you're an adult, it's going to be 2,000 yen or $18. When it first opened in 1990, it was the largest public aquarium in the world. We actually did a full tour of this aquarium over on our other channel, Island Hopper TV Travel Highlights. If you guys want to check out that channel and some of the videos over there, it's more of the behind the scenes stuff, including a full look at this aquarium. But let me give you some quick facts about Osaka. It used to be the capital of Japan. Also known for its street food, Osaka is really emerging as one of the main tourist hotspots here in Japan, maybe even past Tokyo. Now we're here at the Universal Studios. They have the Super Nintendo Land, they have the Harry Potter here. For the ticket prices, one day adult pass is 8,600 yen, that's around $72. You can actually save money if you do a 2-day pass, and then you have a 1-day child pass for 5,600 yen, that's around $50. Some of the best rides they have here include the Jurassic Park ride, Yoshi's Adventure, Harry Potter. They also have the Hogwarts Express, Jaws, Transformers. So really a lot of different rides here. Get ready to have some exhilarating fun. I highly recommend this park, and even consider staying at one of the hotels nearby here. Because after the park, you can go to the City Walk here at Universal City. where they're going to have many different restaurants, bars, and nightlife entertainment right here next to the park and the hotels. Really convenient. Some of the hotels to consider are going to be the Oriental Hotel, Universal City, or the Singularity Hotel and Sky Spa at Universal City. Just do a quick search and you'll find many around the area. Now we're headed over to HARUKAS 300. This here is the tallest building in Japan. You can actually go to the top. A 3-tiered observation deck from the 58th to the 60th floor with an open air atrium. And the price to go to the top of the tallest building in Japan is going to be 1,800 yen. That's around $12. And the price for kids is around 500 yen. That's a really great price, considering the views you get here.
Here we are now at the Osaka Castle.
The Osaka Castle is one of the most famous landmarks in all of Japan, and it played a major role in the unification of Japan during the 16th century. Ticket prices are 600 yen per person. That's around $4. Children under 15 are free. One thing I will say is try to get your tickets before arrival if you can, because the lines do get long. Now let's talk about shrines. This is the SUMIYOSHI TAISHA shrine. There are many different shrines in Osaka, Kyoto, but what really makes this one unique is it is the SUMIYOSHI Grand Shrine. So this one is the main shrine for all the SUMIYOSHI shrines across Japan. Also, if you guys plan to visit many destinations across Japan, I would recommend that you watch our Things to Know About Japan video, as well as our 51 Things to Do in Tokyo and our Things to Do in Kyoto. We've really gone through Japan, making a whole series, giving you guys the information you need to make your trip to Japan very awesome. So check the links in the description and the comments. Next up is the Osaka Park. For those of you who are looking for an outdoor park, whether it be the cherry blossoms or the fall foliage, the colors, come to the Osaka Castle Park. This is probably one of the best city parks. During the spring, when the cherry blossoms are going off and the fall autumn colors are coming out in the fall, this is where you want to be. One of the best ways to see Osaka is on a riverboat tour. You can do the Dotonbori River or the Dotonbori River.
Now here we are at SHINSAIBASHI Shopping Street. Let's go take a look.
If you're in need of doing any sort of shopping, SHINSAIBASHI is definitely the place to go. I mean, you walk along this street, you'll see just a sea of people in the afternoons, in the mornings, in the daytime. I mean, this road is really jam-packed, and it's for good reason, because there's so much shopping going through here, and it leads right into Dotonbori. Now we're here at the KUROMON market. This is a great place to go for street food. I mean, this was probably some of the widest selection of street food I found anywhere in Osaka, and in some regards across all of Japan. So my advice about coming here is make sure you're arriving on an empty stomach, because you don't want to miss the opportunity to be able to try a wide variety of different foods. So don't load up at just one stall. You basically try something and then you move on to the next. You don't want to just eat at one place unless you're super hungry and need it right away, because the variety is something you should try and indulge in. And Japanese seafood is a lot more than just sushi. Everyone thinks Japan, sushi, but here you're going to find a wide variety of cooked fish and shellfish. And as we continue to show you across Osaka, if you guys are enjoying this video, if you could please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so that we can become friends. And now here we are at the YASAKA Shrine. It's really cool because it's a big lion head, almost looks like a fictional character, but all you really need is 10 minutes here and you're mostly taking a picture, but it's something to do. Now here we are at the SHITENNOJI temple. It's one of the oldest temples in all of Japan, built in the year 593. Here you'll find a 5-story pagoda as well as several shrines. There's also a SHITENNOJI flea market nearby, and they have many different cherry trees. So you know what that means. In the springtime, this place is going to light up with the colors. It is a big temple complex, so consider getting a tour. There's also going to be praying monks while you're here. Next up, let's talk about the local food, the fun part, right? The one you've been all waiting for. Now down here in Osaka, I had a lot of Kobe beef and Wagyu beef barbecue, more so than I did anywhere else in Japan, so that was one of my favorite parts. Gyudon, which is actually a beef and rice with an egg bowl. And a side soup typically comes with most meals. That's going to be like a miso soup or an egg soup. For dessert, I enjoyed a creme brulee, but here you have some tempura. You've got vegetable tempura, shrimp tempura, you've got noodles, Japanese noodles, you've got udon noodles. And then the main ticket here is takoyaki. We talked about this earlier, being a octopus and wheat flour with a mixture of pickled ginger and other sort of pickled items, as well as some tempura scraps and some bonito flakes, which are those things moving on the top of the takoyaki. And when you come to Japan, you will quickly realize that karaoke is very popular. You'll go to a spa and they'll have a karaoke club. You go to a restaurant, they'll have karaoke. You go to a bar, locals are singing karaoke. So if you get a chance, go into one of these bars, have a couple drinks, and sing your favorite karaoke songs with the locals. You'll be surprised how interactive those places can be. People love karaoke, especially J-pop, which is Japanese pop music. Now here we are at the ISSHIN-JI shrine. This is a great place to go if you want to see a cemetery and some really unique designs. It's really a beautiful place nearby the zoo. But one thing I want to say, anytime you see something with G at the end, J-I, that just means temple basically in Japanese, similar to what you would see with a road or a street being called dori in Japanese. If you wanted to say thank you, you could say arigato. And if you wanted to say bye, you can say sayonara. And if you want to say hello, you say konnichiwa. And from my experience, those are the words that you'll most commonly use or come across while in Japan. Although there's so much to learn with the Japanese language, obviously, but you gotta start somewhere, and arigato, konnichiwa, sayonara are the most common words that you'll use when you first get there. Also outside many of the temples, you'll notice these bamboo water spouts. That's so you can clean your hands and purify your body before you go in the shrines. Now let's talk about some of the transportation. This here is the streetcars. That's a fun way to get around Osaka in more of a classic way. But then if you want more of an enhanced way to get around, you're going to want to ride the Osaka Metro. Some of the most modern metro systems you'll find anywhere in the world, obviously being right here in Japan, and Osaka being one of those places. I personally got a Passmo card, and it worked with the Tokyo Metro, the Kyoto Metro, as well as the Osaka Metro. So try to get a Passmo card or a JR card. By the way, I just want to say thank you to all of our channel members who are supporting this channel, whether you're a travel starter or you're even more enhanced with the travel support for us. I really want to say thank you so much to all of you out there who are subscribing and supporting this channel as channel members. Now here we are at Spa World Hotel and Resort. For those of you who want to get out there and try a Japanese onsen, you can do that elsewhere. But going to a spa while in Osaka or in Japan is something you should try. It is a bit different because clothing is optional when you're there, so keep that in mind. But yeah, check out Spa World while in Osaka.
Now here we are in DenDen Town. This is actually known as Anime Town. So we're gonna go walk around and see what's going on with the anime scene here.
Here in DenDen Town, you're definitely gonna see a lot of anime or collectible stores, card shops, which we'll be talking about a little later. But yeah, it's a really popular cultural thing here to do collectibles. You'll see toy capsule stores, lots of plastic figurines that are collectibles. You go in those stores, you'll see they have signs that say largest specialized store of scale and character models. The best time to visit DenDen Town is in March because that's when they have the biggest anime themed annual event in Kansai. So that's going to happen on Nippon Bashi Street Festa. Now, if walking around isn't exactly your thing, maybe you can consider riding bikes because it is centrally located and easy to ride around. So you'll see many locals riding bikes. Also, they don't lock bikes here because there's a very low crime rate. Unbelievable, right? You'll literally see people ride the bike, park it, put the kickstand down, and then walk away. But if you do rent the bike, I would recommend getting some sort of lock. Now let's talk about those arcade and toy capsule stores. You'll see those all across DenDen Town, but you'll see them everywhere in Japan and Osaka, especially in the city centers. This is a really popular thing to do, especially with young people here in Osaka and across Japan. So check out these toy capsule stores. It seemed like the number one character that I saw around here was the Dragon Ball Z kind of figurine. The only reason I didn't really try it was because I didn't want to carry around a toy or a stuffed animal the whole time I was walking or even traveling, but it seems very popular here. Next up is card collectibles. So I saw so many people in these card stores. It took me back to the 1990s where I grew up because I didn't even know people were still into collecting cards like this, but it's mostly anime or Pokemon, not really baseball or basketball or football cards. They're mostly cartoonish cards. And again, with the Dragon Ball Z, I noticed this was a popular trading card that was here. So if you're into collectibles, Japan's the spot for you and you can really enjoy yourself here. And same with the hobby shops. I found these all across DenDen Town, but really in Kyoto I saw them in Tokyo, all over. Really cool, right? Because for me, it was taking me back in time to when I used to collect stuff like this. I didn't even know people did that anymore, especially in the era of digital assets and NFTs. It seems like people are doing more digital collectibles than real world assets like this. So Japan was one of the places that really stood out for this. Now let's talk about some activities that you can do outside of Osaka. One of the best ways to get to these places is going to be on the Shinkansen bullet train. This is something you've got to do in Japan, but you can easily catch a Shinkansen bullet train and go up to Kyoto. It took me like 20 minutes. It's really easy to do. These things go like 300 kilometers per hour. The ticket from Osaka to Kyoto typically costs around $20 to $25. Then when you get to Kyoto, you can explore here. This could be a full day event visiting the temples, the shrines, some of the palaces, and of course some of the food streets. Really worth it to come up to Kyoto, even if it's just for a half day or even a full day. And they have bamboo forests here. Another popular town you may consider visiting nearby is going to be Nara. They have a temple here, and people come up here to feed these deer. It's about an hour or 45 minutes away from Osaka. It's not a bullet train ride. You can either get here by car or conventional train. And now I just want to give you some more information about Osaka, things that you need to know. You can arrive here from Tokyo. It will take about 3 hours to get here. Along the route, you will see Mount Fuji. So that's an added bonus. Obviously, that would be on the Shinkansen bullet train. If you haven't ridden that, definitely try to do that while in Japan at least once or twice. I found it to be awesome because of the efficiency. I wish they had those in my country, in the United States, but we don't. If anything, we should copy what they're doing in Japan. But anyway, thanks for watching this episode of Island Hopper TV from Osaka, and we'll see you on the next one. You can watch our Tokyo video next, above recommended, or you can watch our Kyoto travel guide next, above watch next.